Chairman, Foundation for Peace, Development and Socialism, to chair this inaugural session. With the permission of the chair, I would like to continue. The Kasthamandap dialogue provides a unique platform that brings together all stakeholders for discussing important thematic areas pertaining to the development of Nepal. Today, we bring to you the first in series to have an interactive discussion on the Belt and Road Initiative and its challenges and opportunities it brings to Nepal. As we all know, the Belt and Road Initiative was launched in 2013, 12 years ago, by the Right Honorable Xi Jinping, President of the People's Republic of China. BRI is a global infrastructure development strategy adopted by the government of the People's Republic of China. As of February 2025, around 150 countries are part of the BRI. The participating countries include almost 75% of the world's population and account for more than half the world's GDP. Today, we are delighted to have here with us prominent experts from China as well as from Nepal to have this interactive dialogue and discussion on the BRI and the benefits to Nepal, to connect ideas as well as shape the future. Now, I would like to request Dr. Shankar Khatiwada, member, Foundation for Peace, Development and Socialism, to provide the welcome remarks.
Thank you. Chair of the opening ceremony, Dr. B.K. Mansingh, Chief Guest, Right Honorable Speaker Devraj Ghimire, former Prime Minister and Patron of the Foundation for Peace, Development and Socialism, Honorable Jalnath Khanal, His Excellency Chon Song, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to Nepal, distinguished professors, experts, researchers from Nepal and China, leaders from various political parties, esteemed guests and participants, a very good morning and namaste. It is with great honor that I stand before you today to extend a heartfelt welcome on behalf of Foundation for Peace, Development and Socialism. Today marks a historic moment as we gather for the inaugural ceremony of the first Kasthamandap dialogue. The capital city of Nepal, Kathmandu, derived its name from Kasthamandap. The word Kasthamandap originates from the Sanskrit word Kasta. Kasta means wood and Mandap means pavilion, which together translate to wooden pavilion. It is symbolized a historic wooden pavilion located in Kathmandu, built for the wood of a single tree in the 7th century. This iconic structure has long served as a public place for dialogue, community gathering, and the exchange of ideas. In the same spirit, the Kasthamandap dialogue seeks to revive this tradition by gathering people together by creating a common platform for meaningful dialogue. Ladies and gentlemen, today we embark on this far-reaching journey with the timely and meaningful theme, the BRI meets Nepal, a prosperous future of Nepal-China cooperation. The Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, launched by our neighboring socialist country, China, in 2013. BRI is far more than just a connectivity project. It is a philosophy of shared development rooted in the principle of equality, inclusivity, and mutual prosperity. While initiated by China, the BRI is a global development initiative aimed at fostering shared growth and peaceful modernization. At its core lies the fundamental principle of correlation, cooperation, and coexistence. Unlike traditional development models promoted by the global north, which often prioritize profit over people and tend to create dependency rather than empowerment. The Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, reimagines peaceful modernization as a collective endeavor, emphasizing shared development, mutual respect, and inclusive growth. Rooted in the principle of equality and cooperation, the BRI empowers nations, especially developing countries like Nepal, to chart their own sustainable path to progress while fostering win-win partnership that benefits all. Distinguished participants, as Nepal joined the BRI framework just last year, it has sparked significant debate among think tanks, politicians, academics, and public, reflecting both the opportunity and challenges associated with this initiative. The Kasthamandap dialogue begins at a critical juncture, offering a platform to address precise questions, clarify doubts, and resolve confusions regarding the BRI. By fostering open and inclusive discussion, we aim to bridge the gap between virtual thoughts and the reality behind the BRI, ensuring that its implementation aligns with Nepal's development priorities and aspirations. To achieve this objective, we have invited a diverse group of scholars, experts, and policymakers from Nepal and abroad. A significant number of distinguished professors and researchers have traveled from China to contribute this dialogue. I would like to heartily welcome Chinese professors and researchers in this very first Kasthamandap dialogue. While we aim to include scholars from South Asia, technical difficulties limited their participation. Nevertheless, we are honored to have a remarkable gathering of Nepalese experts, policymakers, and researchers who have dedicated their time and expertise to these initiatives. Finally, I would like to stress one thing: the Kasthamandap dialogue is not just an event. It is an important national initiative that brings together great minds to exchange ideas and find sustainable solutions for the implementation of BRI in Nepal. Over the next 2 days, we will hear from renowned professors, researchers, policymakers, and politicians whose insights will help address doubts, queries, and confusion surrounding the BRI. I expect all participants will make a meaningful contribution from their side and pave the way for prosperous future of Nepal-China cooperation. Once again, I extend a warm welcome to all of you and express my gratitude for your presence. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
Thank you indeed, Dr. Shankar Khatiwada, for your very warm welcome and also for providing the background of Kasthamandap as well as the Kasthamandap dialogue, and in particular BRI in terms of emphasizing what it offers: cooperation, collaboration, and coexistence. Now we proceed with the program. I would like to request our chief guest, Right Honorable Raj Kimiris, Speaker, House of Representatives of Nepal, to inaugurate this Kasthamandap Dialogue Series 1 by lighting the panas.
Hello.
Thank you very much, our chief guest. Now I would like to call upon Dr. Santosh Sharma Paudel, co-founder of Nepal Institute for Policy Research, NIPR, to present the findings of the research study on the BRI and its challenges and opportunities in Nepal. This study was jointly conducted by Nepal Institute for Policy Research, Institute of Setuband Studies, and the Foundation for Peace, Development, and Socialism. Dr. Santosh Sharma Paudel, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Chair of the ceremony, Chief Guest, Right Honorable Speaker of the House, Honorable former Prime Minister, His Excellency Chen Song, and distinguished guests. Today's participation in today's dialogue reminds me of the significance of BRI and our interest on the issue. I am happy to have been a part of the study team to study the prospects of BRI implementation in Nepal. After the study was convened in November 2024, Nepal and China signed the BRI Framework Agreement in December 2024, thus elevating the importance of discussing BRI and its implementation in Nepal. Belt and Road Initiative is Chinese Presidency Jinping's initiative for a global community of shared future. It carries forward the spirit of the ancient Silk Road. The BRI White Paper, published in 2023, states that BRI is a Chinese proposal, but one belonging to the world, and aims to address the growing peace, development, security, and governance deficit. It operates under the principles of extensive consultation, joint contribution, and win-win cooperation for in-depth policy coordination, infrastructure connectivity, efficient trade, financial integration, and people-to-people ties. Presidency once called BRI the project of the century, which may have been an understatement given the scale. So far, more than 150 nations have joined the initiative and are at different stages of implementing BRI. More than $1 trillion has already been invested in BRI projects, and the number will only go up from there. Nepal signed the MOU on BRI in mid-2017, envisioning cooperation in infrastructure, trade, investment, and people-to-people connectivity. In 2019, Nepal and China exchanged state visits of the head of states. Chinese President Xi Jinping paid a historic state visit to Nepal, the first Chinese president to do so in 23 years, elevating the bilateral ties to strategic partnership of cooperation, featuring everlasting friendship for development and prosperity. The first point of the joint statement made during his visit states that Nepal and China take BRI as an opportunity to jointly pursue common prosperity, conduct feasibility study for the construction of cross-border railway, and develop connectivity via ports, roads, railways, aviation, and communication under the overarching framework of the Trans-Himalayan multidimensional connectivity network. The visit led to optimism about the extensive cooperation and development in China-Nepal relations. However, the implementation of many of those agreements has been delayed. After 7 years, in December 2024, Nepal and China finally signed the BRI framework agreement during the visit of Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli to Beijing. This has now paved the way for further negotiation on specific projects and funding modality for the actual implementation of projects. In Nepal, some say BRI is a magic pill that will transform Nepal's development. Some others view it with some caution. Therefore, we felt a need to study the matter and analyze the prospects and challenges of implementing BRI in Nepal. To do so, we conducted more than 55 interviews with Nepali policymakers, experts, former policymakers, some science experts, and local stakeholders in Timure. We also went for a 3-day field visit to the Timure-Keru border point to observe the current state of infrastructure and understand local perspectives. Besides, we conducted a survey of 173 people, which included Nepal's foreign, economic, and security elites between January 1 and February 2025. Some of the survey results have been shared with you, and you can find them in the package that is handed over to you. The study analyzed the prospects and challenges in BRI implementation in economic, financial sense, in strategic ways, bilaterally, politically, and administratively. First, every 3 out of 4 survey respondents identified that Nepal would benefit primarily from the infrastructure connectivity and trade and investment opportunity. Nepal's poor infrastructure, be it in all forms of transportation or otherwise, does not need explanation. During our visit to Timure too, we are surprised to see the sorry state of the way linking Timure to Rasuagadi that barely qualifies as a road, let alone a highway to conduct international trade. A Chamber of Nepal Industries report in 2019 identified that Nepal needed 16 to 20 billion USD per year in infrastructure spending in 4 sectors alone. That includes energy, transport, water sanitation, and urban development to achieve the SDG goals. That is roughly half of Nepal's GDP. However, Nepal's own financing capabilities are limited. Nepal had budgeted around $2.5 billion in capital expenditure this fiscal year. In the first 8 months, less than a quarter of that budget has been used, which is about $600 billion. Other financing sources, such as aid, with a target of $2 billion in 2025, with loan accounting for about 4/5 of the target. Clearly, there is a massive investment gap in Nepal, hindering Nepal's economic growth and development. The trend in aid and government revenue indicates that external support is critical, with doubts over projects such as the MCC and the likelihood of further decline in aid, especially from the West, due to change in policy or money diverted towards their own security or Ukraine. Nepal's LDC graduation in 2026, the alternatives has to be sought. The BRI offers one such opportunity. China has the financial resources, interest, and the capacity to make such an investment in Nepal. However, it is critical to understand that BRI is not China aid. The framework agreement states that stage 8 financing modality potential BRI projects will be under some form of loan. While debt trap diplomacy has gained some currency among BRI detractors, it has to be noted that the most controversial and failed projects in countries such as Sri Lanka and Malaysia were initiated not by China but by the recipient government in pursuit of domestic political agenda. Their debt distress has not arisen predominantly from granting of predatory Chinese loans, but rather from the misconduct of local elites. However, the case has clearly cautioned against selecting projects based on political calculus and choose projects based on national necessity, priority, and financial prudence. Even our survey shows that 2/3 of the respondents believe that if Nepal faces financial distress, the likely cause will be internal. such as corruption, poor project selection, and time overruns. Only a quarter identified potentially high interest rate as a major cause of concern for debt distress under BRI. Developing connectivity and infrastructure projects without developing ancillary industries, promoting production and employment would not benefit Nepal much. We need to build connectivity to trade, not merely to ease imports from China, but to trade more with China. Despite Beijing's insistence to the contrary, many see BRI as a geopolitical strategy to create a new Sino-centric order. Nepali elites seem to have similar view. The previous one. When asked to describe BRI as a developmental or strategic initiative, 60% of the respondents choose to describe it as a strategic initiative. Nepal's southern neighbor definitely sees BRI as an attempt to increase Chinese presence in South Asia. India has not joined BRI and has pushed Nepal not to join BRI. When Nepal signed the framework agreement, many Indian media, which often represents establishment views though in exaggerated ways, saw it as Nepal choosing China over India and with India's loss of influence in Nepal. It is true that if trade with China or through China becomes competitive, it lessens Nepal's dependency on India and makes Nepal a truly land-linked country, decreasing the leverage that India holds over Nepal's economy. Currently, about 90% of Nepal's trade is with India or via India. Better connectivity in the north will challenge such Indian monopoly. Thus, Nepal has to negotiate a delicate balance. However, there are reasons to be optimistic. Though India has not joined BRI, it is the largest beneficiary of AIIB, a China-led Asian infrastructure investment bank. And China is the largest trading partner for India as well, implying that New Delhi is not against Chinese fund or trade itself. However, Nepal has to ensure that the legitimate Indian concerns are not compromised with improved connectivity with China. The implementation or delay in implementation of BRI holds the potential to reshape Nepal-China relations as well. BRI has been among the top priorities for every visiting Chinese delegations to Nepal. Frustration and, to an extent, disillusionment is building in Beijing over repeated promises and failure to take concrete action by Nepal. China is also desperate to show progress in its neighborhood, that too in a friendly neighbor that is in its backyard. This has led to some unnecessary scenarios, such as the claim and counterclaim if the Pokhara International Airport is a BRI project. Such rhetorical debate exposes the tension between the two sides and creates mistrust among leaders and public. Given that CCP has included BRI in its constitution and is a guiding strategy to Chinese foreign policy, the way BRI is implemented in Nepal will affect Nepal-China relations. We should not assume that BRI only defines Nepal-China relations, but it is a critical component. Next, BRI affects Nepal's politics and vice versa. No major party are against BRI, though some differences exist over the model of cooperation. The current coalition, for instance, had some differences but was able to sign a framework agreement. Yet, they showed some diplomatic immaturity upon return, indicating that BRI remains a political issue as well. BRI is not unique in this case. Every major development project, irrespective of funding source, has been politicized in Nepal. The MCC is a prime example, or hydroelectricity projects changing hands with change in government. Thus, BRI won't be an exception in this case either. The conditionalities of BRI will likely be a political issue, with parties exploiting it for political scoring. Similarly, the absence of a stable government and a reliable political partner was a challenge for BRI. Already, the short-listed projects have raised concern. For China, it will be a concern if anti-Chinese sentiments are festered as a result of politicization of BRI or failure of some projects for any reason. Almost half of the survey respondents identify the lack of consensus among political parties to be the most pressing challenge for BRI implementation. If BRI process succeeds, it would be seen as a success of Nepal. But if it fails, the finger will also be pointed at Beijing as much as towards Nepal. Finally, a whopping 84% of respondents think that Nepal's preparation for BRI is insufficient. Not surprisingly, almost half of the respondents also believe that proper selection of projects, which is part of the preparation, and other forms of preparation is critical for successful implementation of BRI. However, Nepal's weak institutions and institutionalization are major issues. Nepal has a poor record of cost and time overruns in almost every major infrastructure project, with allegations of corruption being a common theme. For personal or political gain, sometimes attempt to engage Nepal's bureaucracy has sometimes met with indifference and delay. For instance, one department was reportedly contacted by the Chinese side more than 2,000 times, but the department failed to respond to any of the letters sent by the Chinese. BRI framework agreement emphasizes on negotiation. The term itself is used 8 times in the agreement. However, Nepal's expertise in negotiation, technically or politically, has been wanting. In some cases, even the Chinese say that Nepal has not raised the issue it should have raised, either because it was not prepared or had an inferiority complex. In this context, rules and bureaucracy has often been used as tools of control rather than to promote efficient project completion. BRI projects which started will face similar challenges. Still, only 30% of respondents were hopeful that any BRI project will go into implementation in the next 2 years. This offers China and Nepal an opportunity to counter such pessimism. Nepali experts believe that the implementation of BRI is inevitable. It is just a matter of time of when and what project. In saying that, it is important to understand that BRI is not a project. It is a new model of development in aid. It is and should be led by Nepal, and unless Nepal itself is ready for BRI, BRI will not be implemented successfully. Taking the lessons from failed projects in some other countries, Nepal should understand that often the cause of failure is domestic with political calculus affecting project selection. While BRI is a developmental opportunity for Nepal, it will have structural implications, and Nepal has to assure its other partners that it will not be against their legitimate interests. Rather than aim for mouth-watering mega projects, Nepal should prioritize a smaller and impactful project to start with. Once such projects succeed, Nepal can then move on to other projects. Nepal should also move beyond the idea that development has to come in form of grants only. Insisting on grants shows either our dependent mentality or a lack of confidence that our BRI projects we are contemplating are not financially prudent, both of which do not bode well for us. Beijing meanwhile should not pick favorites and engage every stakeholder in Nepal. In doing so, Beijing should be ready for all criticism that comes its way should there be any issues in BRI in Nepal. But it may not get as much appreciation if the initiative succeeds. Therefore, Beijing will be watched keenly. But clearly, the onus for success or failure of BRI or the development of Nepal in general starts and primarily ends within Nepal's borders. Therefore, I'd like to end this by expressing hope that BRI could not only help Nepal's development, but further better relations between the two nations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Powder, for highlighting the findings of the research that has been conducted and also sharing with us some of the challenges for the implementation of the BRI. In particular, looking at your presentation, 73% of the people in Nepal, with the survey that was done, seems to be somewhat familiar with the BRI, and so it is quite optimistic with the benefits that it brings to Nepal. Now, I would like to invite His Excellency Chen Song, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to Nepal, for his presentation. May I also request the audience to please be a little bit quiet and listen carefully, and also be a bit silent.
Thank you so much. Distinguished Right Honorable Speaker, Devaraji Jibri, Distinguished Honorable former Prime Minister, Jabata Sana, Distinguished President of the Foundation for Peace, Development and Socialism, Dr. Bal Krishna Len Singh, and my distinguished professors from China, from Nepal, ladies and gentlemen, friends, a very good morning and namaste. First of all, I'd like to congratulate you on the convening of this first session of Kasthamandap Dialogue. Proponas right on the BRI with Nepal, a prosperous future of Nepal-China cooperation. I want to congratulate him on the Foundation for Peace, Development and Socialism for organizing this very important seminar, dialogue. And I'm deeply honored to be invited as a speaker on this occasion. And thank you for the Dr. Sanju Sharma for the sharing of the survey of Nepalese people's view on the BRI. It provided a lot of insights and also make today's dialogue even more relevant. Still found that after over a decade of introduction of BRI, after 80 years after Nepal signed the MOU, 3 months after Nepal signed the implementation framework agreements, there's still a lot of misunderstanding or doubts about the BRI in Nepal's community, society, and the people, which make today's seminar even more important and relevant. I know there are many discussions in the past regarding BRI. I know my colleagues from China and Nepal, they will discuss the principles, projects, the histories of BRI. So today, I want to take the discussion to a new level. So I will share more information on the significance of BRI to Nepal. So today, my speech, the topic will be why BRI matters to Nepal. So you will not heard about the previous discussions about the principles, major projects under the BRI, how Nepal can benefit it. But I want to provide you with a strategic vision of why BRI is so important. It matters to Nepal, not only matters to Nepal, but matters to the future prosperity of Nepal. So today I will start my presentation. We all know that BRI, the main area for cooperation is infrastructure. But why this infrastructure is important? What the BRI, why signing to the BRI can bring to Nepal? BRI is a public goods provided by China to the world. It's not a strategic tour, but it's an invitation for countries to link to a network, to co-develop, to co-prosper. So that's number one. Why China have this confidence to connecting all the countries, 150 countries locked into the BRI? Because China now is leading in global infrastructure connectivity and trade and trades. So next slide, please. I'll just share with you a few facts and figures, and you will figure out the significance by yourselves. China's high-speed rail has exceeded 48,000 kilometers, which makes it over 60% of the global total in 2024. China's highway mileage exceeded 177,000 kilometers, and which is world's largest. China's highway tunnels, we have over 24,000 tunnels, total length exceeding 27,000 kilometers. And over the 10 largest global ports, China has 7, which is Shanghai, Ningbo, Zhoushan, Shenzhen, etc., by the cargo volume that is traded. So what by mention this, what I mean that China's infrastructure is leading the world. We are at the core of the international infrastructure connectivity. So by linking to China, you have opened a new way for connectivity. And also for the very complicated infrastructure developments in Nepal, China has every technology to help Nepal to build your infrastructure and connect it to the world. Make Nepal from a land-linked country making Nepal from a landlocked country to a land-linked countries. By linking to this world-class infrastructure, you can open new chapters for trade opportunities. In 2024, China's foreign trade volume exceeded 43.85 trillion RMB, which is the largest in the world. And we have over 150 countries whose largest trading partner is China. But unfortunately, Nepal is not one of them. That is a puzzle. When I arrived in Nepal, the first puzzle I faced. Why Nepal is a close friend, a close neighbor of China, its largest trading partner is not China. Countries as far as in Latin America, the largest trading partner is China. So I see potentials, huge potentials for Nepal to tap into these trading opportunities with China. And also in terms of global tourism market share, China has 10%. The Chinese people traveling overseas. Before COVID, 2019, we have 155 million people traveling to the world. Now we have recovered to 100 million in 2024. Sorry for the mistake in the slides. It's also a huge market, potential market for Nepal to tap into. As far as I know, Nepal received a little more than 1 million tourist arrivals last year. So I think 100 million Chinese travelers is a huge market for Nepal to tap into. Also, China is a trade hub for global largest commodities, large quantity commodities. For example, China imported 72% of global iron ore exports, which amounted to 1.2 billion tons. Beef, I know that last year we signed the thermally treated buffalo meat export to China agreements. So China imported 3 million tons of beef, which accounted for 24 to 26% of global imports. In terms of soybeans, we imported 100 million tons, accounted for 60 to 68% of global exports. So, this is the first aspect I want to share with you. By connecting with China, Nepal has connected to the world-class infrastructure connectivity network and also the trade network. So that's very important. Second aspect I want to share with you that China is leading the future industrial and technological revolution. The most obvious to our Nepalese audience people is that the EV. Now we can see Chinese brand EVs everywhere in Nepal. That's not coincidence. Because China, we have produced over 60% of all the EVs produced in the world. Next slide, please. Also, we produced 70% of the batteries used in EVs. So some people say that China has a supremacy on EV and EV batteries. That's no joke, it's a reality. Actually, China has taken the lead in every future technologies. EV, just one example that Nepalese people can understand very easily, because you see the EVs, Chinese brand EVs, on the streets of Nepal. But some of the areas Nepalese people may not understand very well, so I want to share a few facts with you as well. For the future energy development technologies, China's annual power generation is 90.2 trillion kilowatts, 30% of global total. Among them, 36% of the total power output is renewable energy. China is taking from 80 to 90% of the solar panel productions. We are taking 90% of the wind power products. So for the future renewable energy markets, China is leading. Also, for the future energy technologies, which is the fusion technologies, China is also leading with that. The latest development in 2024, China's experimental advanced superconducting tokamak achieved 1,066 second high confinement plasma operation. You probably do not understand what this means. I don't either, because all these technical jargons. What I want to show you is that China is taking lead in the fusion technology as well. Next slide, please. And other areas for the drones. We all know that the big name Dajiang drones. They have taken 70% of the total market share of the world. So China is leading in drone technology. Robots, same. Unitree company, they are taking 50% of the world markets for the industrial use robots. China is producing and also deployed over 50% of the world total, which put China in a leading position as well. In the AI sector, China has more than 4,000 AI companies. Now the DeepSeek, Qianwen from Alibaba, and Manus, these three big names, has already paved the future path for AI big models and AI applications. Next slide, please. For quantum computing, Chinese scientists have unveiled the Zuchongzhi third, a 105-qubit quantum processor. This technical jargon is hard to swallow, but put it simply, that China is on the par with the United States in the race to build the world's most powerful quantum computer. Lunar explorations. China will be the first country to build a lunar base on Moon. So by quoting all these areas and statistics, I just want our Nepalese friends to understand. China is leading every future technology and future industries. Third, China has become a global knowledge hub. Many Nepalese people ask me why should I study Chinese? What benefits can I get? This is the answer. China is becoming the knowledge hub for the world. China's R&D investment reached $458 billion US, which put China as the most heavily invested in research and development country in the world. That is also the reason why China is leading in almost all future technologies and industries. Another reason is China has 11.74 million college graduates every year, which is 1/3 of Nepal's population, of which more than 5 million are engineers, which put China as a 10 versus 1. The United States graduates 600,000 STEM graduates or engineers annually. China's engineer graduation is 10 times of the United States. This huge talent pool provides solid support for China's science and technological developments. The results of high level of R&D investment and high volume of graduates have resulted in technological breakthroughs in China. So for the Natural Index in 2024, China has ranked first globally for 5 consecutive years with natural indexes. So I noticed last year, the South China Morning Post published a sensational article with the title, Sichuan University has beat MIT and Stanford in terms of natural index. They put a list, Natural Magazine has put up a list of natural index rankings. The top 10 universities with only one university from the United States, Harvard University. Number 2 to number 10, all from China, with Sichuan University ranks 10th, beating MIT and Stanford. So among the natural publication groups, the highly referenced papers, China is ranking second globally in 2023. As patent applications, China has filed 1.6 million applications in 2023, ranks number 1 globally. In terms of 5G patents, China accounted for 40% of global share, leading in the world. About 5G patents, Chinese companies accounted for 35% of global patents, which is also putting China in lead. Those are the 3 areas I want to share with you today. That is why BRI is so important to Nepal. Because by joining the BRI initiative, Nepal is not about building a road, railway, or airport, or exporting some thermal-treated buffalo meat, or welcoming more tourism from China. By signing up for BRI, Nepal is integrating into a global network of progress with China in the center. Be it infrastructure connectivity, be it trade connectivity, be it industrial developments, be it knowledge sharing. So I want to congratulate Nepalese government and Nepalese community by signing up for the BRI initiative. Nepal has successfully secured a position for future development, future cooperation with China, and future prosperity for your young generations. Yesterday, I saw a Twitter goes viral in Nepal. Some high school students shouting slogans of bring lights to Nepal. But I think shouting slogans does not resolve any problems. By doing concrete work under the BRI framework will resolve the problem and secure the bright future, not only for our friends sitting today, but also for the young generation still sitting in schools. It is our duty to engage the cooperation between China and Nepal under the BRI framework in the right way. It is our duty to start working. It is our duty to embrace Chinese technology, Chinese market, Chinese wisdom, Chinese initiatives, including BRI, because that will bring a more bright future for Nepal and for Nepal's economy. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, His Excellency Chen Song, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to Nepal, for his excellent presentation, particularly providing us insights into BRI and also demystifying some of the concepts of BRI and why BRI matters to Nepal, providing that strategic vision in terms of why it matters. In particular, like he said, BRI is a public good to co-develop and co-prosper, to connect all countries and in infrastructure and trade. And also that optimism in terms of making Nepal from a landlocked country to a land-linked country. So thank you very much, Your Excellency, for an excellent presentation and the optimistic view of how Nepal could benefit from the BRI initiative. Now, proceeding further with our program today, I would like to call upon Honorable Kasthamandap Kanal, former Prime Minister of Nepal, to deliver the keynote address.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to extend my thanks to His Excellency Ambassador for his very inspiring, very informative, innovative and practical speech. And I would like to go through my speech now. A very good morning and namaste. Welcome to all. सबैलाई स्वागत गर्दछु. The chairperson of Kasthamandap Dialogue Series first, Dr. B.K. Mansingh, the chief guest of the opening ceremony, Right Honorable Devraj Gimri, Speaker of the House of Representatives of Nepal, His Excellency Chen Song, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to Nepal, Honorable Members of Parliament, professors and experts from China and Nepal, leaders from different political parties, and dear participants and journalists. It is my great honor and privilege to address the esteemed gathering today regarding the historical initiative of Kasthamandap Dialogue Series first, with the inherent slogan of connecting ideas, shaping future. Under the banner of Foundation for Peace, Development and Socialism, the theme of the Kasthamandap Dialogue is the BRI Meets Nepal, a prosperous future of Nepal-China cooperation. Encapsulates the vision of fostering a collaborative and mutually beneficial relationship between Nepal and China through the Belt and Road Initiative. This dialogue aims to explore the opportunities and potential that the BRI brings to Nepal, focusing on infrastructure development, trade facilitation, and economic growth. I am fully confident that this dialogue will have a long-lasting impact in the circles of national and international think tanks, policymakers, politicians, and society as a whole. The series first of the Kasthamandap dialogue primarily focused on the Belt and Road Initiative, a global development initiative launched by His Excellency Xi Jinping, the President of China, in 2013. This initiative represents a new model of global cooperation, connectivity, and partnership. Its main objective is to promote global trade growth, economic development by developing infrastructure and expanding trade relations among participating countries across Asia, Europe, Africa, and the world. By modernizing the ancient Silk Route, the BRI aims to usher in a new era of global trade with significant investment in infrastructure projects such as roads, railways, ports, and bridges, etc., etc. This initiative enhances connectivity and relationship among people, communities, nations, regions, and belts worldwide, fostering mutual understanding and cooperation. To achieve this mission, the BRI has outlined 5 key objectives: infrastructure development, which aims to improve transportation and energy system; trade facilitation, which promotes multilateral trade and economic integration; financial investment and integration, which focuses on financial cooperation and sustainable financial system; people-to-people relations, which strengthens cultural exchange, educational cooperation and tourism; and policy coordination, which encourages the coordination of policies and development plans among participating countries. Distinguished friends, I would like to briefly describe the historical journey of the BRI over the past 11 years. The BRI has expanded its reach to more than 150 countries, involving approximately 75% of the world population. This ambitious initiative has signed over 3,000 projects with a staggering investment of $1.4 billion in various infrastructure and development projects. As I have got this information, last year I participated in the 10th anniversary of BRI in Beijing. Countries participating in the BRI collectively account for more than 50% of the world's GDP. Furthermore, mutual trade among BRI countries has exceeded $5 trillion, highlighting the initiative's profound impact on global trade and economic integration. The BRI has also been a significant boom for economic growth and infrastructure development, particularly in third countries like Nepal. BRI aims to establish new dimensions of development globally by promoting high quality infrastructure, trade facilitation, and economic growth in participating countries. This initiative seeks to expand global quality development by investing in advanced infrastructure projects, enhancing trade networks, and fostering economic integration. By doing so, the BRI not only drives regional connectivity but also contributes to the overall growth and prosperity of nations involved. Through collaborative efforts and strategic investments, the BRI is paving the way for the more interconnected, dynamic, and resilient global economy. Distinguished participants, now I would like to focus on the efforts between Nepal and China concerning the Belt and Road Initiative Agreement. In 2017, Nepal officially signed the BRI agreement with China, joining this significant initiative. For 7 years, following the Nepal-China agreement, the cooperation between our two countries has not been fast, but is comparatively slow. However, in 2019, the Oli government presented 35 projects under the BRI, but after the consultation, it was reduced to single digits, resulting in the presentation of 9 projects. In 2021, China presented the BRI Framework Implementation Plan to further guide the cooperation and implementation of the initiative with Nepal. Finally, during PM Oli's present tenure, despite facing numerous disputes in Nepal, a significant agreement was ultimately reached. This BRI Framework Agreement is an important agreement. This agreement has ignited a renewed sense of hope among the people of Nepal, inspiring them to embark on a path of new cooperation for development and progress. This signing could pave the way for a renewed collaboration and progress in infrastructure and trade development projects, including the trans-Himalayan connectivity between Nepal and China under the BRI. As I remember, when His Excellency Xi Jinping, the President of China, had visited Nepal, at that time he had proposed to build trans-Himalayan connectivity so that Nepal would be turned from a landlocked country into a land-linked country. The central element of that connectivity of that proposal was to build a modern railway connectivity from Chinese border to Kasthamandap. It would be a great breakthrough in connecting China and South Asia, the most populous region of this globe. But the present government could move in this direction or not. We hope the government could move very fast in this direction. It has to be seen in the future also. Distinguished friends, I would like to briefly mention some countries' response following the signing of the BRI Framework Agreement between Nepal and China. Both India and United States expressed dissatisfaction with the BRI agreement. The Indian media strongly opposed the agreement, voicing concern and criticism. Furthermore, the US expressed its objections with Donald, the minister, a representative visiting Nepal to articulate this concern. This international response highlights the differing perspective and geopolitical considerations surrounding the Belt and Road initiative. Likewise, since the very beginning, there was a serious political debate among the political parties of Nepal too. Additionally, some leaders are firm on not taking loans from China under any circumstances and only accepting grants. This perspective is considered a little bit contrary to the national interest. It is undiplomatic and non-practical concept, showing a lack of foresight in long-term planning for a country. Just for your reference, Nepal has taken majority of loans from Western countries and from different international institutions, while its loan from China are negligible. There is no question of debt trap in regard to the loan from China. There is no absolute rule against taking loan or grants from other countries or international institutions. It is always according to the concrete need of the country. If there is need and possibility we could borrow the loan for the development at any circumstances. But we cannot demand only grants from any country or institution of the world. It would be illogical, undiplomatic, and non-practical, I think so. Cooperation between and among the countries could be developed in different ways according to the circumstances and need of the concerned countries. Distinguished friends, now I would like to briefly highlight some misconceptions that have arisen in Nepal regarding the Belt and Road Initiative. There is propaganda suggesting that BRI was introduced by China for her global domination. This is the voice of Western world. Practically, we don't see any evidence and signs of that type of domination in regard to Nepal. Some people make propaganda that Pokhara airport is a death trap of China and it was a mistake to build it. Similar rumors are being spread about Lumbini airport too. But the reality is that normal international flight has also been prevented from coming to these airports. Currently, we cannot bring exclusive also from the southern market. And we also cannot sell even our electricity from projects if it is involved some Chinese elements. We all know that our southern neighbor has a very beautiful foreign policy. That is neighborhood policy. We like it very much. But in practice, we have faced blockade 4 times in our history and facing above kinds of behavior still today. Is it? But Nepal always wants a peaceful, a very friendly, constructive, equal, and practical relation with all countries, including our two great neighbors. This is Nepal's consistent policy. As an oldest, independent, and sovereign country of South Asia, Nepal is always independent to foster such relations with China and all other countries around the world. We would like to have full benefit from the Belt and Road Initiative by adopting a practical and proactive policy approach according to concrete needs of the country. Many countries around the world are already benefiting from the BRI, with over 150 countries having signed thousands of agreements under the initiative, including grants, soft loans, commercial loans, and various types of financial arrangements. There are many options in BRI concept. Nepal, as a sovereign country, is free to advance its international relations and cooperation independently, free from geopolitical and political pressure. The national interest should always be the focal point in developing our relations. Dear friends, Nepal's policy regarding the Belt and Road Initiative is based in the principle of sovereignty, independence, and national interest. We have two great neighbors. Their both economies have been developing fast. These two fast developing neighbors are our opportunity too. We have to be able to see this opportunity to benefit from their growth. China's economy has surpassing $20 trillion now, making it an extraordinarily developing economic power of the world. Obtaining BRI projects from such a powerful partner is a boon for all countries, including Nepal. Therefore, the BRI concept is in Nepal's best interest, and the country should maximize its utilization based on national needs and interests. When it comes to grants, partnership, concessional loans, and commercial loans, Nepal should be skillful to select and negotiate projects with practical and rational choices. By embracing a balanced and forward-looking approach, Nepal can harness the benefits of the BRI to achieve sustainable development and economic growth. Distinguished friends, in conclusion, I would like to emphasize the importance of the Belt and Road Initiative as a global development project. The BRI presents an unprecedented opportunity for the development of Nepal too in different sectors, including infrastructure development that we have been waiting for centuries. Contrary to some misconception, the BRI is not a deep trap project. In our analysis and in our conclusion, it has been a good for the majority of countries in the world. It is an opportunity for us too to achieve significant progress and prosperity. We, as Nepalese, should consider this initiative seriously and recognize its potential benefits. Throughout this dialogue, we are privileged to have renowned professors and experts in the field of BRI and international relations from China. I would like to welcome you from my heart, and I hope you will contribute a lot for bringing a very good conclusion for Nepal too. They are here to address all aspects of doubt and queries. If there may be any queries, there are many journalists also before us. They may make questions to you, and I request you to address those questions. We have here prominent political leaders, Nepalese professors, and experts. They will also share their insights on the BRI, providing a comprehensive understanding of the initiative. I hope you all will keenly participate in the today's session, make a maximum contribution to bring a conclusion about this great project and gain valuable knowledge through the debate and insights from the Kasthamandap dialogue series first, which will provide a guideline for the future development of cooperation between our two countries, Nepal and China. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honored Kasthamandap sir, our former Prime Minister, for his very informative and inspiring keynote speech, and for providing us that background of the BRI initiative, the relevance of BRI for Nepal, and some of the key issues and challenges. Particularly, he made reference to the historical journey of BRI over the last 12 years, with the investment of more than $1.4 trillion and see BRI as a new dimension of development, particularly for infrastructure, trade network, fostering integration of trade and collaborative efforts. He also talked about BRI initiative between Nepal and China with insights into the BRI framework agreement, which is a renewed sense of hope for revived collaboration in connectivity and trade for Nepal, and in particular reference to the trans-Himalayan connectivity. So thank you very much for your very excellent and inspiring speech. Now, I have the honor to call upon our chief guest, Right Honorable Devraj Kimire sir, Speaker, House of Representatives of Nepal, for his address.
कार्यक्रमका अध्यक्षज्यू, पूर्व प्रधानमन्त्री कलनाथज्यू, नेपालका लागि चिनिया राजदूत चेन सोङज्यू, चीन र नेपालबाट यहाँ उपस्थित हुनुभएका प्रबुद्ध वर्ग, मीडियाकर्मी साथीहरू र उपस्थित महिला तथा सदस्यहरू, BRI meets Nepal of Prosperous future of Nepal-China cooperation विषय काष्ठमण्डप डाइलग नामक संवाद कार्यक्रममा सहभागी हुन पाउँदा खुसी लागेको छ। काष्ठमण्डप डाइलग सिरिज अन्तर्गतको पहिलो छलफल कार्यक्रमले नेपाल-चीन सम्बन्धका नयाँ सम्बन्धहरूको खोजी गर्न महत्त्वपूर्ण अवसर प्रदान गर्ने विश्वास लिएको छु। म कार्यक्रम सफलताको शुभकामना व्यक्त गर्दै आगामी संवाद कार्यक्रमको पनि निरन्तरताको शुभकामना व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु। नेपाल र जनवादी गणतन्त्र चीन बीच कूटनीतिक सम्बन्ध स्थापना भएको 70औं वार्षिक उत्सव मनाइरहँदा आयोजना भएको यो कार्यक्रमको महत्त्व थप बढेर गएको महसुस भएको छ। यस संवाद कार्यक्रममा उच्च राजनीतिक व्यक्तित्व, कूटनीतिज्ञ, व्यवसायिक, शिक्षाविद, सञ्चारकर्मी लगायत विभिन्न प्रबुद्ध व्यक्तित्वहरूको उपस्थितिले यसको गरिमा बढाउनुको साथै यसको राम्रो समीक्षाबाट नेपालले बढीभन्दा बढी लाभान्वित हुने निष्कर्ष निकाल्ने मैले आशा गरेको छु। हाम्रा दुई देशबीच विद्यमान आर्थिक, सामाजिक, सांस्कृतिक सम्बन्धलाई थप प्रगाढ तुल्याउन आजको कार्यक्रमले उल्लेखनीय भूमिका निर्वाह गर्ने कुरामा म विश्वस्त रहेको छु। नेपाल र चीन बीच सदियौं पुरानो एवं निकट मित्रवत र सहयोगात्मक सम्बन्ध रहिआएको छ। हाम्रो सम्बन्ध गहिरो, सद्भावपूर्ण र बहुआयामिक छ, जुन आपसी विश्वासको बलियो जडमा निर्माण भएको छ। भौगोलिक र सांस्कृतिक समानताहरूका साथै जनस्तरको सम्बन्धले हाम्रो द्विपक्षीय सम्बन्धलाई थप मजबुत पार्दै लगेको छ। 7 दशक अघि सन् 1955 मा कूटनीतिक सम्बन्ध स्थापना भए यता नेपाल चीन बीचको मैत्रीपूर्ण सम्बन्ध निरन्तर विकसित र सुदृढ हुँदै आइरहेको छ। शान्तिपूर्ण सहअस्तित्वका 5 सिद्धान्तहरू अर्थात् पञ्चशीलद्वारा निर्देशित हाम्रो द्विपक्षीय सम्बन्ध असल छिमेकीपन, आपसी साझेदारी र सम्मानका साथै अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय मूल्य र मान्यतामा आधारित रहेको छ। हामी बीचको यस्तो सुमधुर सम्बन्धलाई थप सुदृढ र घनीभूत तुल्याउँदै लैजान हामी सदा तत्पर रहँदै आएका छौँ। एक चीन सिद्धान्तलाई दृढतापूर्वक पालना गर्नुका साथै यसप्रतिको नेपालको प्रतिबद्धता बलियो रहिआएको कुरा म स्पष्ट पार्न चाहन्छु। जे विगत लामो समयदेखि नेपालको एक भरपर्दो महत्त्वपूर्ण विकास साझेदार मुलुकको रूपमा रहिआएको छ। नेपाल सरकार र नेपाली जनता, चिनिया सरकार र जनताका तर्फबाट नेपालको विकास प्रयास हुँदै आएको सहयोग र सहकार्यका लागि आभारी रहेका छन् भन्ने कुरा पनि मैले महसुस गरेको छु। नेपाल र चीनको ऐतिहासिक सम्बन्ध आपसी विश्वास, समझदारी र मैत्रीपूर्ण सहकार्यमा आधारित छ। बेल्ट एन्ड रोड इनिसिएटिभ BRI मार्फत दुवै देशबीचको सहकार्य अझै मजबुत हुँदै गएको छ। यो पहल नेपालका लागि केवल पूर्वाधार विकासको माध्यम मात्र नभई आर्थिक वृद्धिका नयाँ ढोकाहरू खोल्ने अवसरको रूपमा लिनुपर्छ भन्ने मेरो दृढ मान्यता रहेको छ। नेपाल आफ्नो भौगोलिक अवस्थालाई उपयोग गर्दै ट्रान्जिट हबको रूपमा स्थापित हुन सक्दछ। यसका लागि दुवै देशबीच भौतिक पूर्वाधार विकास, सडक, रेलमार्ग, ऊर्जा, सूचना प्रविधि तथा व्यापारिक सहकार्यलाई प्रबन्धन गर्नुपर्ने आवश्यकता छ। नेपाल-चीन सम्बन्ध केवल व्यावसायिक वा आर्थिक सहयोगमा सीमित छैन, यसले सांस्कृतिक, शैक्षिक तथा प्राविधिक हस्तान्तरणका क्षेत्रमा पनि उल्लेखनीय योगदान पुर्याउन सक्दछ। नेपालको दिगो विकासका लागि चीनसँगको सहकार्यलाई अझ प्रभावकारी बनाउँदै पारस्परिक हितका क्षेत्रमा थप लगानी गर्न आवश्यक छ। हामीले नेपालमा रहेका लगानी सम्भावनाहरूलाई सही रूपमा पहिचान गरी BRI अन्तर्गत नयाँ परियोजनाहरूलाई प्राथमिकता दिनुपर्दछ। यस प्रकारको संवाद कार्यक्रमले नेपाल-चीन सम्बन्धलाई अझ सुदृढ बनाउने, द्विपक्षीय सहकार्यलाई नयाँ उचाइमा पुर्याउने र साझा समृद्धिको दिशामा अग्रसर गराउने अपेक्षा लिन सकिन्छ। म फाउन्डेसन फर पिस डेभलपमेन्ट एन्ड सोसियलिजमलाई धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु, जसले यो महत्त्वपूर्ण विषयमा एउटा बहसको वातावरण सिर्जना गरेको छ र अध्ययन र विश्लेषण गरेर यसलाई कार्यान्वयनमा सहयोग पुर्याउने कुरामा म विश्वास राख्दछु। असल मित्र र निकट छिमेकीको रूपमा नेपालले चीनको प्रगतिमा गौरव गर्नुको साथै बृहत आर्थिक साझेदारी मार्फत चीनको अद्वितीय विकास र समृद्धिबाट लाभ हासिल गर्न चाहन्छ। यस सन्दर्भमा नेपालको विकास प्रयासमा रहेको चीनको साथ, सहयोग र सहकार्यले हामी उच्च प्रशंसा गर्न चाहन्छौँ। नेपाल सन् 2026 भित्र अल्प विकसित राष्ट्रको सूचीबाट स्तरोन्नति हुने परिप्रेक्ष्यमा सहज स्तरको उन्नति र सोको दिगोपनाका लागि समेत चीनबाट महत्त्वपूर्ण सहयोग रहने हामीले अपेक्षा गरेका छौँ। अन्त्यमा पुनः काठमाडौँ डायलग सिरिज 1 को सफलताको शुभकामना व्यक्त गर्दै नेपाल चीन साझेदारी उज्जवल भविष्यको हार्दिक शुभकामना सहित धन्यवाद ज्ञापन गर्दछु। धन्यवाद।
Thank you very much, our chief guest, Right Honorable Devraj Kimile, for his very inspiring speech that he has just provided. He is very optimistic about the relationship between Nepal and China, and that he also enlightened us with the diplomatic relationship that we cherish between Nepal and China. Nepal is very much thankful for the support from the government of China that has been received. He sees that Nepal could be a transit hub, and also both in terms of cultural as well as technical exchanges. He sees also BRI as providing an opportunity for strengthening the relationship between Nepal and China through various programs and projects related to infrastructure, related to connectivity, related to transport and trade. He sees China as a good neighbor and thus also provides that opportunity to work collectively together in cooperation, collaboration in the future. Thank you very much, sir, for your very much inspiring speech. Our Right Honorable Speaker, House of Representatives of Nepal. Now, going forward with the program, I would like to request Dr. B.K. Man Singh, the chair of this inaugural session, to present the token of appreciation to our chief guest. Thank you very much. Now, again, I would like to request Dr. B.K. Man Singh to present the token of appreciation to His Excellency Chen Song.